Hi everybody, welcome. It is super foggy here today in Seattle with very minimal visibility, so it's hard to get. I turned all the lights on to try and get some light to illuminate, but it's not really working that great. So I hope you can hear me okay. It might be difficult to see, but welcome. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Happy Sunday Fun Day. I wanted to do a reading today and talk a little more about the process of ascension and the awakening piece of where we're at on the journey. So I did a video on Friday around the process of ascension, or the spiritual process in which we begin to embody more light in our beings. So I'm not sure if you had an opportunity to check that one out, but it really is a good starting point to really understand what it means to develop into a more heightened conscious state, and kind of what triggers that, if you will. The word is trigger. What triggers that into your existence or into your consciousness, and kind of where you're at in the stage of ascension. So are you learning some new things about yourself this year? I am. I'm learning a lot of new things about myself and how I have created who I am, and some of the things that have been really powerful in that process and necessary. And also I'm learning about the things that have interfered in the growth process, and how to really look at unconscious patterns that might run the show, that might be revealing themselves in your consciousness right now, and really reflecting on the cost of these patterns and the impact that they've had on your life. So that is part of this ascension. So it's really, developing the muscle capacity to, on a cellular level, look at how you've had particular ways of being that have interfered in your ability to grow and evolve. So things that have kept you small, that have kept you playing small, out of fear of growing, out of fear of change, out of fear of the unknown. And this is really all about where we hold on to in our bodies old memories, density, karma, the past that no longer serves us, that goes all the way down into our cells. If we think about ourselves as little pockets or bubbles that hold things, and that if we don't let go of those things, they get stored up. It's like having just too much baggage in our bodies. And this is the time in our lives, with all these planetary shifts and with this global pandemic happening, to release and let go of that which no longer serves us, so that we can continue to bring in more light into our consciousness and evolve into these higher ascended versions of ourselves. So tomorrow we have this full moon lunar eclipse, and with the sun being in Gemini right now, with the moon being in Gemini, so the sun is in Sagittarius, and the moon is in Gemini. So what that actually means is that this is all about emotional truth and heightened energy that is karmic in nature. So this is all about releasing karmic energy. So if you hear me saying that or other people saying that a lot, karmic energy can be anything from things that have happened in this lifetime that you beat yourself up about, around things that you may have engaged in that weren't in the best and highest good for you, and things that may have happened in past lives, if you believe that are still having an impact on how you are now, or generational karma, things that you have inherited through your ancestral lineage. So that could be anything from habits and rituals that you inherited from your parents that are karmic in nature, that need to be released, that no longer are serving you. So this is the eclipses are powerful points in time that signal like major transformation. So it's like accelerated destiny, accelerated fate. Things just start to move really rapidly, and this is really about releasing past trauma so that we can move beyond the limitations of our mind and recognize the parts of ourselves that no longer support our future growth. So have you really been looking at the things in your life that have infringed upon your best interest, that don't that aren't in alignment with your value, with who you are intrinsically, who you are and the essence of your being? When you think about, when you were a very small human, in a space of innocence, in a space of love, and who you were in terms of how you contributed to those around you, how you played with your friends, how you created things in your reality. That's sort of the most innocent energy, the essence of your innocence. And so this is all about really releasing all of the energies, the past, the trauma, the karma that have been stuck in your being, that keep you from aligning with the essence of who you are. So this is really all about getting back to the basics. This is really about releasing and allowing for light to come into your experience so that you can ascend in a way that isn't that is in a space of flow. Okay, so I also talked about the symptoms of ascension, and the first symptom of ascension that I'm going to talk about today is exhaustion. So if you're feeling exhausted right now and you're kind of like uncertain about what you should be doing, which way you should be going, how you should be directing your energy, you are not alone. I think we are all sort of in this space of what the actual is going on. And so this is a perfect time to really set some really clear intentions around changing in your perspective of who you see yourself being. So if you've been being a particular way and this has gotten you to this point, perfect. Now is the opportunity for you to release and let go of all of the mindset philosophies that have kept you small. Because this, where we're going, is bigger. Okay, it's bigger and grander. It's a bigger and grander expression of who you are. So really leaning into this ascension process is going to make it far more powerful for your experience. And it's going to increase the light quotient in your body. Okay, so if you haven't already started to become illuminated in this energy, this lunar eclipse in Gemini is going to really exacerbate that. So since the full moon is in Gemini, it's going to be illuminating Gemini energy around your intelligence and intellectual conversation that you may be having with yourself or with others. And, being able to see where you're going without necessarily knowing where you're going. So seeing this version of yourself that is now this grander expression. So you see that in this energy, you can start to see this ascended version of yourself, and you can start developing the relationship to that version of yourself in this energy. So setting the intention of who you see yourself being as you ascend into this energy in a bigger, grander expressed version, releasing the small version and developing the relationship with the ascended version, okay? So releasing and letting go of all that no longer serves you. And this could be an opportunity for some epiphanies or some aha moments or some deja vu. The polarity, so the Sagittarius is the sun sign right now. So the sun is in Sagittarius, the moon is in Gemini. And this is all about developing the relationship between the higher self and the individual mind. Okay, so how you bring in this spiritual component into your psyche. This is all about the spiritual awakening. So if you are watching this video or watching videos on YouTube around spirituality or tarot or astrology, it would seem to me that you have some interest or some inkling to be interested in spirituality, awakening, ascension. And so this energy is really bringing to the surface the relationship between the spiritual higher self and the intellectual mind, the individual mind that we all have. So bridging that relationship so that you can live from the perspective of being a spiritual being, having a human experience. So this is all about our personal quest for truth versus, what this is about, creating the balance between what I personally think is truth versus the truth of our higher self, or what the higher self is trying to tell us. Thinking what we need versus what we think we need versus actually what we really need in terms of what will move us forward, ascend us forward into our mission. So this is, for me, what it's really all about. What is my mission while I'm here in this on this earth plane, and how can I really integrate all the parts of myself in this awakening to really ascend into a grander expression. So no longer playing small, no longer thinking that I'm not good enough to do X, Y, or Z, no longer thinking that I deserve less than in relationships, friendships, partnerships, work-related business adventures, things of that nature. Seeing the actual value and worth in my truth that transcends what my ego says, okay? So integrating these parts of myself from my higher self into my egoic way of seeing the world so that I can be balanced in that truth, so that I can be balanced and think and knowing what I actually need to ascend versus what I think I need on the material plane. I need more time, I need more money, I need more this, whatever. I actually really might need to create a structure to support me in the projects that I'm creating around my mission, okay? So that could be one of the things around the ascension. So, and, you know, just, it could just be getting really clear about, you know, spending some time thinking about what do you want your legacy to be while you're here? Is it around your family? Is it around your work? Is it around a cause, a social justice cause, a humanitarian cause? For me, a lot of if you know anything about astrology, that's another piece that's pivotal here. So if you know where your North Node is on your astrology chart, that will help you gain an understanding of what your mission is here on this earth plane during this life. I'll do a North-South Node reading sometime in the next week so that we can actually really spend a little more time thinking about what is that philosophy. So your North Node is the direction in which you're moving. Your South Node is the direction in which you came from. So the nodes of the moon are the you know, the energy in which we're gravitating around. So the North Node is pulling you forward. My North Node is in Libra. My sun sign is in Libra too. So that Libra energy is familiar to me, and it's in the 11th house. So the 11th house is all about humanitarian, big picture, community. So my mission in life is to create a space to have community conversations around, or conversations with community around social justice, just cause, compassionate just cause. What actually is going to pull us forward as a collective community on this planet that is balanced and just, and that is compassionate. So how do I create a mission around that? I'm having conversations around veganism and animal agriculture. I have spent a lot of my career talking about institutional oppressions, and I've spent a lot of time around creating community and conversations around economic development and looking at wage disparity, looking at institutional oppressions related to race and sex or gender, and spending time looking at how economic policy affects, you know, our you know, women and people of color. So this is all about, for me, creating a world that is equitable and that is in alignment with integrity and compassion. So if I believe that we should all be treating each other and the planet compassionately, that would also really speak to the way that we have animal agriculture and the absolute atrocity that animals go through for us to have a 10-minute meal. So really exploring for yourself, what is it that you truly stand for, and what is it that you want to share with the world to create a space for your own mission while you're here, okay? So I hope that you're all really spending time looking at what does need to be looked at in terms of what are these unconscious patterns that keep you small, and reflect on the cost and the impact that that has had on your life, and set the intention during this full moon energy to release it as part of your ascension process, okay? So I'm gonna do a reading today, drawing in some of that energy around how can we align ourselves in a particular frequency to assist in that process. I also wanted to dedicate this video today to my auntie who died last night. I don't want to start crying. From COVID-related symptoms, although she wasn't diagnosed with COVID. She was so special to me. And she was a beautiful human. She was my mother's sister. She was my godmother, and she was a huge part of my life. And this happened pretty suddenly. I just learned about it on Friday, and then she died yesterday. So This is for her. Aunt Sandy, I love you so much. I know you're gonna be resting at peace. She was always just this really loving, unconditional, loving human. And she always sent me the most beautiful notes. She was so thoughtful. When I was a little girl, she would take me to the museum. She loved to teach me things. She was a teacher by trade. She was one of my teachers. And here's to her for being beautiful and amazing. I could actually feel yesterday her leaving the earth plane. And as difficult as that was, it was just pure magic to feel her energy just be free and to know the impact that she's had was really powerful. So I don't know, I was wondering if I would get through the year without losing a close immediate family member. And no, that's not the case, and I know that hasn't been the case for a lot of people. So this year has been an absolutely difficult and challenging experience for a lot of people. So it's really important to be compassionate and understanding and just really hold space for yourself and be kind to yourself and to one another and come from a really heart-centered space. Live your life from your heart chakra. Live your intentions from a place of love. Okay, that to me is the most important thing you can do right now to continue to navigate what might feel like a very difficult and uncertain time. So let's see where we go with this, you guys. Okay, dynamic, belief, delight, communication. Okay. Yeah, so this is really this full moon energy. The frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. So as I was saying, now is the time to really dive deep into whatever unconscious patterns you may have had that have been running the show and that are revealing themselves to you and that have, really had an impact. So reflecting on the cost that this has had on your life and releasing that, letting that go, using it as a catalyst to ascend, to continue to evolve in your awakening process. And really, like I was saying, it's so belief, the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and strong connection to source. So allowing for this frequency of the dynamic frequency of releasing and letting go and using this experience to ascend, to look at what has kept us playing small as a baseline of saying this is not in alignment with, or this no longer supports my future growth. Okay, so I'm going to use these experiences as a catalyst of change, as a way to leverage myself forward, because I believe in my self-worth and I trust that I am growing into a grander, enlightened expression of myself. Okay, and in that space, we can create joy and happiness and feel delight. Okay, and that will create an experience of a domino effect in your realm, it will bring in more light quotient. It will bring in more light into your cells, which then will be illuminated in your energetic frequency and field and be experienced around you. And in that space, as you ascend, you manifest more opportunity, a bigger, grander expression of your mission, of your truth, of your being. Okay, a more enlightened version, an ascended, awakened, light version of this new you. Okay, it's magic, huh? It's magic. Let's see, what should we use? How about if we use the Muse? Oh, let's Muse. We'll use Muse. So let's see. So really, you guys, aligning yourself in a space that is bringing together the many elements of what is new, but also what is familiar with ease and grace. And then really releasing what no longer supports your future growth and believing, trusting yourself. This is, it's really important to trust yourself. And when you're not aligned with the frequency that is pulling you forward, it's costing you more energy, and that is keeping you small. So allowing for things to be released in your life, not having attachments to the way you think things should go or the way that things didn't go, and allowing Source to heal you and pull you forward, and really creating the space for you to rest and relax, because exhaustion is a huge part of ascension. Okay, so let's see, where are we going here? Ooh, the Devil. There's that karma. There's that karmic energy right there, you guys. Queen of Pentacles. Seven of Wands. Yeah, standing up to that karmic energy. No, I will no longer be stuck in a tie that binds me. Two of Cups, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Queen of Cups, King of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Eight of Swords, Queen of Swords. Awakening, there you are. Queen of Wands, Three of Wands, Knight of Cups. All right. So you guys, this is really all about standing up to yourself and knowing your worth and allowing for you to integrate your your experience of what no longer serves you with what is meant for your best and highest good, okay? And that might feel going forward like you're abandoning a part of yourself that's familiar to you. And it will, however, ground you in order for you to really see this, it's been important for you to stay in a very nurturing and compassionate emotional state, because there is some disillusionment. So you may have thought the way you've been doing things has been in the up and up, but you may have been lying to yourself about these unconscious patterns so that you didn't have to face them. And that is really what's going to be illuminated in this energy of this full moon, is really getting conscious, developing the muscle capacity to come into this consciousness around this awakening, around standing up to yourself, to the part of yourself that keeps you small, that keeps you playing a small version, a smaller game. And Spirit, this moon energy is really here to say that no longer serves you. That has to go. You have to. You have no choice but to let that go and get woke. Wake up. Wake up to this. Because where you're going is truth. Where you're going is all about the higher self's truth, not this lower, smaller version's truth, okay? Not this version of you that looks at yourself and says, I am not good enough, I am not this enough. You know, you could have perspectives on your image, okay? And that could be completely distorted. You may have distorted the way you see yourself based on the way you tell yourself how you are. And that's what really needs, that's where this Seven of Wands devil energy, it's like you're standing up to this part of yourself that has affected, that has told you you're not good enough, told you you're not smart enough, told you you're never going to amount to what you think you're capable of, whatever it is. This is all about seeing the truth of that. This is all about really getting conscious to these unconscious patterns that run the show and that keep you in a particular way of being that is safe. So the King of Pentacles is here to say, this is all about getting grounded and standing in a space of truth and tangibility. And there might be some loss and disappointment that you feel about this. This might be very uncomfortable for you because it's really confronting. It's really confronting to see things about yourself that you may know on some level, but haven't really felt the need to come into consciousness about it. And now you are developing that muscle, and it's going to feel very uncomfortable, in part because you might not have developed the skill set yet to actually reflect on the cost and the impact that it has had on your life and create newly, okay? Creating new from nothing. But the outcome card is the Queen of Swords, and she is the truth sayer. She is telling the truth. She is seeing the truth. She isn't fucking around. She's like, I see it now. I'm clear. I got it. I'm there. With this awakening, you're awakening to what is actually possible, what is actually coming towards you, which is an opportunity for something to be manifested that will bring you happiness, that will bring you delight, okay? That is what is on the horizon. Queen of Wands, she is the passionate entrepreneur. She is really manifesting an illuminated clarity with her third eye. She sees what's possible. With the Three of Wands, which is really looking at all your options. So if you've been playing yourself small and you start to discover the pattern you're in, the Three of Wands is now shining this energy in that says, look at when you move that bullshit out of the space, what becomes possible? What becomes possible? The options are limitless. And what's coming towards you with this Knight of Cups? It's coming. It's moving. It's emotionally fulfilling. Okay? It is going to evoke delight in you. It's going to shower you with light. It's going to then manifest into the realm around you, okay? So one of the things that you can do is actually start to journal, write things down, spend time in a meditative state, whatever you need to do to really start looking at what are these unconscious patterns that may have had an impact on you being able to really see your true power, your true worth, your true self, not the version of this disillusioned false self, okay? Not this version that may have been created from karmic energy, from ancestral family, historical stories that you have used to develop what you think is your truth, okay? Because this is the time to release and let go of all that past-based karmic energy that is no longer serving you, okay, on a cellular level. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to do a full moon lunar eclipse reading. So stay tuned for that in the next 24 hours. But in the meantime, this is a perfect opportunity for you to really look at, write down the unconscious patterns that run the show, that keep you safe, that are revealing themselves right now. Reflect on the cost and the impact that it has had on your life, and set the intention of releasing and letting go of that karma, letting go of that trauma, letting go of whatever that story or stories are that keep you playing smaller than the version of who you're ascending into being, okay? All right, you guys, so lean into ascension, okay? Do some work today. Today's the day. If you like the content I'm creating, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel and engage with me if you are interested. And Here's to my Aunt Sandy. If you have a chance today, send her and my family love and healing vibes. All right, you guys, I'll see you again. Take care.